Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Corny Phil back again in World of Warships, and today I'm piloting. I'm sailing out the Tier 5 Zuiho? I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Sorry, not Japanese. Probably should learn. Regardless, the Tier 5 Japanese carrier. And let me tell you, Japanese carriers are absurd. Yeah, they're everything U.S. carriers want to be, except good fighter carriers. But against players who don't defend themselves, Japanese carriers are god tier. And this game's going to really demonstrate that, because we're going to bump into one guy who, yeah, he wasn't very happy about my performance. But that's in the future. This is now. So we're, yeah, like I said, the carrier games always start off more or less the same way. Like, send your planes up, send the boys, find something to shoot at, send the boys. Dive bombers, less useful against cruisers than I would normally like. But oh look, this Wyoming looks promising. He's sailing towards the middle of the map. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let's select the torpedo boys. Uh-oh, my dive bombers are getting picked on by fighters. But of course, the enemy is also a Japanese carrier, and as you can see, I'm not impressed by their fighters. They're not really stopping my dive bombers, are they? And actually shot down a plane. That's the world we're in right now. Yeah, I'm not impressed by Japanese fighters, but our torpedo bombers are coming in. This is where Japanese planes shine, and we're even losing one of our squadrons more or less in a crap spread. But looks like we're good, so sending the boys in, going for the close shot just on the arming line, basically. Huge spread. There's not much he can do about it, and we're just gonna clip off about half his health or so, a little bit more, and fly back with nary a plane lost. Go us. So we're flying back minding our own business. Actually, we got our own problems. And then Cobra 2009 there. Good lord. I actually had to stop and confirm, like, was he dead or no? No, it was the guy I hit. And I shouldn't comment too much on it, so I'm not going to. But suffice to say, I mean, this guy just like writes the book on blind rage. And what I really thought was funny when I was playing the game was that he's doing all this raging about how he didn't dodge my torpedoes. Meanwhile, I'm dodging a spread of torpedoes, and I actually got hit once. And you can see me here typing, but I end up not sending all this stuff because, like, I don't need to antagonize him. I don't need to do that. That's not professional or polite or even in good taste. The guy's angry. We've all been angry. Shit happens. Yeah, but I mean, he just keeps going. But I need to stop addressing that. But I will say one of the things I am gonna do, and this is just a fair warning to anybody on the Cornybros. Anytime you ever play with the Cornybros, if you start raging in all chat, and I have the power to attack you, I'm going to. If I see somebody in World of Warships raging about carriers and how unfair they are, and I'm in my carrier, I'm gonna send all my planes after you. I'm gonna ruin your day. Why? Because it's gonna tilt your whole team. Because watching you blindly rage everywhere has a chance of tilting the rest of your team who's freaking out. And here I finally do comment to him, and I keep saying I'm not gonna comment to him, but I can't because he's fun. He's accusing me because clicking a mouse, he's saying, oh, like, carriers are so easy, it's basically RTS mode. It's like, dude, I caught you flat-footed in a bad spot and hit you. Meanwhile, you're flying a ship where all you do is click on the screen. But, again, whatever, so I'm done with it. I'm done. I can't deal with him anymore. But anyway, like I said, so obviously there's only one person left on the map for me to hit. And that's
Group 5.
And that's him. He's in a Wyoming. Granted, the Wyoming not a very good plane that defends itself, or ship that defends itself anyway. It just doesn't have a good AA. And there might be another video in the near future where I take out a New York, or I pilot out my New York battleship, and like I don't shoot down a damn thing. And you see right now, I'm looking for him. I want to hit him. Why? Because I'm a jerk. And I don't know why, just as a note to the other carrier pilots, always focus torpedo bombers first. But there we found him, Tally-ho on target, and he's... You know, and yeah, I'm ribbing. I'm poking fun at him here. I'm pissed, because he's called me a bunch of names that irritates me. I end up not saying it, but I did want to point out that he's, like, bumped into 3 other battleships. Like, I don't know what he's doing with his spare time, but it ain't driving his ship.
We're under attack. Group 3 taking fire.
So, you know, I'm just vectoring my planes. Like, I mean, this is a target-rich environment, and they're not going to be able to stop it. So I know he's pissed, but we're just going to zero him out here because I ain't got time for this. And he actually, for once, he dodges, but it just doesn't matter. Like, he's already taken so much damage, and he takes 4 more, and somebody else will polish him off. Goodbye. There we go. Finish him off. And I do, you know, and here I do finally, like, really rip into him, give him the,
Group 3 taking fire.
And I meant to say wouldn't have happened, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's a bad thing for me to be doing, but it's hard not to give somebody like this a little bit of grief. But again, you know, I gotta stop. Okay, we're stuck. We're done. I'm gonna take another one. Touch my butt. I don't like that. Guy shot me in the butt. I don't like that. I do think it's funny that both times I've hit that guy with torpedoes, the enemy carrier's been sending crap after me. It's like, leave me alone, please. Yeah, and that is something, like, I do think is a very important skill set, is the whole, like, counter carrier. Like, it's kind of like counter battery fire in World of Tanks, show counter artillery on artillery action. There's a lot of philosophy that's gone into the idea of, like, if you're a Japanese carrier, your first target should be just to fly your planes to the other side of the map and sink the enemy carrier. Because once you take them out, you rule the skies. This is especially true if you're against an American carrier, because the American carriers have the ability to ruin your day. You know what, with their fighters. Though I will say that the bombers always get through, which is actually a quote, I think, from the Battle of Britain during World War II, talking about, like, how during the Blitz, London was getting continuously bombed, and, you know, despite all their defenses, the bombers always get through. And that's very true in World of Warships. You know, so I know I've seen people complain about the lack of, like, people, you know, like the carriers not defending them. It's like, look, I have 2 squadrons of fighters. They have a limited amount of ammo. I can shoot down, you know, I think I can roughly shoot down 4 to 6 of a Japanese carrier's squadrons, but that still means he's going to have more planes. Like, I can't shoot them all down. But, you know...
Group 4 taking fire.
You know...
Group 3,
you know, it's just not much to say. Like, you can't stop them all. Now, this Congo... You know, I think I had another video that showcased much the same things. Congo put himself in a very bad place. Like, he can't dodge. He's run out of room, so we're actually just gonna zero him out. Like, you know, and it's, you know, I sympathize. You know, if he was to get, yeah, if he was to get angry, yeah, I'd sympathize, because I just literally 100 to 0 him. But whatever. Back to the next part of the game. The game itself is kind of turning on a, you know, dime here, or it's hanging in the balance. That's what I mean to say. We were down several ships, and and now it's even, which is a good sign. I think me zeroing out that Congo was a non-trivial help, because it means that we'd not, it means that we're, I'm carrying my weight. And meanwhile, the enemy carrier has been so focused on trying to deal with me and hasn't gotten me that really I'd say my contribution's a little bit better. But we're going to get at least one more flight off. The boys are landing. The boys are taking back off again. And this is, at this point in the game, I mean, this is a pretty good game. I've destroyed a ship. I've had 17 torpedo hits. 12 floodings, 5 critical hits, 2 planes shot down. Go me. I think both of those were like my dive bombers shooting down like fighters, which is just hilarious to think about, that these like Because these are still biplanes. There's like these biplanes just shooting down other biplanes. Or like, yeah, these bomber dive bombers shooting down other biplane fighters. But we've actually kind of moved ourselves into a weird spot here. We got this destroyer creeping, but thankfully this cruiser right there is doing what he needs to do to protect me, which, by the way, if your carrier is doing his damnedest to save your neck, you know, if your carrier is sending out planes and trying not to, you know, screw it up, protect him. I mean, I know it's hard. I know it's challenging to do too much to protect us, especially if we put ourselves in bad spots like I did there, but it doesn't take a whole lot to, you know, hit a destroyer in the face a couple of times, which is really all we've ever wanted. But we're going to start vectoring the planes, and this guy does good. This guy actually kind of understood what he needed to do. You know, he understood how to dodge. But I mean, he does it in a way that I think most people find very irritating. I didn't adjust for it very well. But I mean, he just runs into the edge of the map, and because of the way the map works, this basically means that his ship starts moving in a way that doesn't make sense. You see, he's just kind of like crawling up the edge of the map. So he's going to avoid most of these torpedoes. Though, there it is, my high caliber. This is actually the first high caliber medal I've ever gotten, and for those of you who either didn't play World of Tanks or not sure what the requirements are in World of Warships, I believe it's deal 30% of your enemy's combat effectiveness, that is basically their HP pool, by hitting at least 4 different ships. And I believe I've hit, or maybe it's something like that. I should look it up. Now I'm a scrub for not even looking it up, but suffice to say, I've done a shitload of damage to a bunch of different ships. That's kind of the end point there. So now this guy's sending his fighters, and I gotta say, you know, this other carrier guy, you know, he's got some great ideas. He's trying to use his fighters to counter my fighters, but he's doing it in a way that like doesn't really make sense. He needs to be focusing my torpedo bombers. You know, I clearly have a preference for battleships, and I'm sending people after the battleships, and he's not doing a great job of defending them. And he's been using all of his attack crap for the most part on me, which, not a terrible idea, like I said. I mean, it is a strategy, but you gotta deliver on it. You know, and especially like after I dodged the first spread, you know, I don't know if I send the second spread, particularly because I wasn't heavily damaged then, and you know, even now I'm only at half health, and that's after having a battleship shoot at me. But we're sending the boys back in. I think this is gonna be the last flight of the boys here. We're gonna get you know, we're gonna send them in and you know, shift clicking around, trying to you know, build out a waypoint that makes sense. And yeah, we're gonna chase down this last battleship. Is that in New York or Wyoming? Something. Maybe New Mexico? I don't even remember. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it's not going to be a ship that can defend itself against my planes very well. Battleships, until you get to the very high tier, because dear God, like the, oh, it's in New York. Okay. Yeah, the New York doesn't have a great AA complement. But, you know, we're just going to put him in. He's doing what he needs to do, which is trying to turn the boat, turn the ship. But he's caught in a weird spot. Torpedoes in the water. He's going to take a bunch of damage here. Not much he can do about that. And he's lost steering, and that should finish him off. Rip in pieces. Oh, wait. Didn't finish him off? Lame. So it looks like somebody else is going to get a free kill there. Boom. Whatever. So that's the one thing they do need to implement in this game is an assist mechanic. And I know damage is the ultimate reward, but, like, come on. I did probably 95% of that guy's health, and I know for a fact that the guy who killed him probably got, you know, at least 10 or 15% more experience than me for the same, you know, same basic work. But yeah, at this point, GG, game's over. We've got a battleship playing hide and seek with their enemy carrier. That's all that's left. Guy's basically given up. He's just sending his fighters try to hit any of my planes. I do like Phobart79 here. Shout out to you. I mean, yeah, it ain't over till it's over, but we got 5 minutes to cap or kill a carrier that we already know where he is. This game's over. There ain't a whole lot this guy can do. Our battleship's just gonna sit here and
Maintaining present course.
crush this carrier. Oh, yeah.
Ready.
Oh yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay.
Group 2.
You know, try to keep it interesting. Try to do different things. You know, I do play a lot of carriers. Oh, by the way, this game, World of Warships, is getting ready to go to open beta. So be on the lookout for that, because we'll look forward to seeing more people in there. But there you have it. 250,000 credits, 4,500 experience, 4 ships for 30%. Okay, yeah, that's what I did. Hit 4 enemy ships for 30% of the total combat effectiveness of the team. Look at that #1 top spot. And 126,000 damage with 23 torpedo hits. Yeah, I did a lot.